Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. We're on the test server and we're joined by none other than YST. How are you doing, man?
I'm all good, Mr. Nubby. We're back.
We're back. The first collab of 23.
Yeah, my God, man. Everybody in the comments are just like, where's the collabs gone? I'm like, let Nub have a break, man. But how was your break, by the way? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good. Like I've been quite sick, so
oh no.
The first, like it's been a bit rough, but I've been doing better the last couple of weeks, so it was nice. It managed to go on holiday and it was okay. So I was worried. I was really worried going away. It's a stressful type of holiday.
So did you fly away or did you drive somewhere?
Yeah, we actually went to Germany, Austria, and we did. There's ski jumping competition on, called the Vier Schanzen, the Four Hills. Okay. And my girlfriend and her family are really into it, so we went along, and it was actually a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Just watching these dudes jump like 100 and something meters off these giant ski slopes.
For a second, I thought you were jumping off the ski slopes.
Well, I had people thinking that is what we were doing, and I was like, you got to see it. Trust me, I'm definitely not doing that. Or watching from a seat. Thanks very much. But yeah, anyway, that's what I did, which was a lot of fun. There you go. You had a good Christmas?
Oh, yeah. Just chilling with the kids, nice. Watching the fireworks on the TV, the lazy life.
I like it. I like it. All right, well, hey, let's dive into Raid Shadow Legends, which is the second thing most people are here for after, of course, hearing about us. But Akam Tum, I'm really excited about this champion. What do you think? Initial impressions? Man.
He fits into the Skinwalker straight away, right? Like, obviously being like a Sphinx kind of cat. Yeah. But great name, great aesthetics. He's got the Wolverine vibes as well, which I like. Let's go. So, yeah, man, I'm excited to see what you've got working for us with this champion today.
Yeah. I mean, going into him, he only has the 2 active skills. The A1 is a triple hit with the books to a 50% chance per hit to put poison. Also has this debuff spread effect, which I think is actually really cool. Every hit, 50% if they're under Hex to spread 1 random debuff. I think that's pretty awesome. We're going to see that in Hydra. I think it's quite good. And
I think that's a very strong A1 actually. Like being able to have that on a default skill, meaning you don't have to rely on cooldowns to do that. A 50-50 chance, by the way, for an epic is actually very high. I know, of course, like you're the Hydra king, so I'm pretty sure that we're gonna see some really cool Hydra action with this. But yeah, man, for a default skill, it doesn't get much better than that, in my opinion. It's really cool.
Yeah, that the A2 is also a triple hit, but AoE, and then each hit having a 75% chance to increase Hex, or if they don't have Hex, to place the Hex. It's almost definitely going to place Hex, which is really nice, right? No weak hits from Affinity, 375% chances, like almost every time it's going to put Hex, and often it's going to have an extended Hex as well. So yeah, what do you sort of think about this one and the combo between the two?
Can you just imagine, like, the way that I seen it anyway was, it's like, you got a triple hit A1, so very, very strong for, like, Giant Slayer procs on the clan boss, but of course, spreading the debuffs for other places.
Yeah, we got the Giant Slayer.
Yeah, and then with the A2, it's like, damn, like, can you imagine all the Giant Slayer procs from an AoE, by the way? And then when you add the additional damage of the Hex as well, it's just like, it's going to be a beast, man. And being Void Affinity, no weak hits, I think it's got a lot of potential.
Yes, very useful. The passive, of course, as well, Hexblood. We got the 100% chance when booked of inflicting damage from 1 poison debuff to enemies under Hex whenever their allies receive damage from poison debuffs. We were talking about this right before we started recording. Yeah. I was saying that I've done some testing. I'll show you the little clip I've got right now. In fact, let me show it to you guys. I'm still not 100% sure how this works. So what I've got here is... Well, if I click play, we're going in. We've got a Calvalax has put up 4 poisons on everyone. And then there's slight randomness in terms of some of them are 3 turn duration, some are 2. We've got then our boy, Akatum. So for the first test, I just A1'd. He does put out 1 extra poison. The other 2 got resisted very randomly, but there you go. 3% chances in a row. But that's okay, because I just want to see the baseline poison explosion from Elenarl, which is, I mean, it's about that strong, right? So that's how much she's doing. Almost killed her, actually. She's a good chunk down, about half health on both of these, for example. So that was that without him putting up the Hex and using the passive. So I did it again, but this time round 2, he is going to do the Hex. Here he goes in. Hex is out on all of them, and he's done some damage. And here's the poison explosion, this time with the Hex. So his passive triggers, and bam. You can see the difference in the damage, right? It hits a lot harder. I'm not sure
Yeah.
what it does. It's like I paused it. Like you can rewind.
So which floor of the Doom Tower are you hitting here?
This is like floor, I think floor 80, so that the speeds
Floor
are easy.
80. Yeah, I don't know, like the way that I was reading it was like when I initially first read it, I thought it would be very similar to like a Dark Hail where you just instantly detonate a poison debuff.
Yeah.
But then it goes on to like the allies, and the way that I feel like it is like it takes the highest max HP of a champion, takes the poison tick,
Yeah.
or whoever takes the first turn, right, of the poison, and then it will tick that same damage that was on that champion to everybody else in the squad. That's kind of what I seen it anyway, but I could be wrong. It's just it's a unique skill set, right? We haven't seen this, in my personal opinion, yet anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at this. Like, this is what's going on. What is it? I don't have a clue. It's this absolute wall of text that is completely
So if we read this
indecipherable.
again, so has a 100% chance of inflicting damage from one poison debuff to enemies under hex debuffs whenever their allies receive damage from poison. So what I think that we're seeing here, from first glance anyway, is because you're using a combustibility, and it's not just a poison tick from a champion taking the first turn, it might be instant damage from all of them at once because you're detonating the poisons all at once, right?
Yeah, could be.
I feel like that could be it, I guess.
I don't know. Something like that. I mean, you can see their health bars are like this, whereas round one, their health bars were like this. It's doing a lot of damage.
It's definitely a lot more than one poison tick, 100% with that damage difference.
Yeah, it's a pretty substantial difference right there. Boom, boom. So there you go. It's interesting. Like I'll show you the build real fast.
Do you think that the damage that you initially did could have been the tick there as well, potentially? With the extra damage?
I've built him for damage, and it's not really worth it. He doesn't hit very hard, actually. It's really all about the Giant Slayer and all of his effects and stuff. So I did build him for damage, so that's definitely part of it. But you kind of saw when he did his initial hit, he did some damage, but like he's not made that much of a dent in them. Like they're slightly lower, but most of it really is coming from the effect of the passive.
I know that we're like still in the intro, guys. I don't want to long this video out too much, but is there any way that we can quickly go into like a dragon with just Elenaru and him, just to test this out one more time without a detonation? Because I feel like I'm actually very, very intrigued to see how this actually scales.
Oh,
we got disclaimer, guys. delete that. There we go. So I guess just open up with the Elenaru and let's just see what the poison tick does just from like an enemy taking an actual turn without combusting.
Okay. Well, I'll put the hex on so that the poison will work. Let's put on poisons.
And then we'll see now on a 1 speed maybe.
Let's put on some more poisons. Yeah, switch it to 1 speed.
Let's just see what a champion does.
Oh, he's got Relentless. He's gone again. He's gone again. And look at him spreading the poisons around. He's put up a ton of them.
Yeah, it's really cool. Who's going to take the first 10 then? Let's see. So, all right. Whoa.
Yeah, there's a load of ticks. I think every poison that ticks does a little something. I'm not sure.
It does seem that way because that's a lot of ticks, man.
Yeah,
that's a lot of ticks.
It's a lot of ticks. I don't know, dude. It's very confusing. It does good damage. It's
you guys let us know in the comments if you feel like you're seeing something that we're not. Definitely let us know. But
please. It's interesting. I'll show you the build, and we can talk about the build then. I'll throw in an actual dungeon run with the full team, which is kind of cool to see. Where is he gone? Akatum, he's down here. Love his portrait as well. But I built him for damage. I really don't think it's worth it. So I wouldn't build him actually like this. I put him in Relentless. I tried to give him lots of attack. A little low on crit rate, that's okay. And high crit damage. Not worth it. I think it's really, you're going to be much better off building him to be kind of tanky and like lifesteal with a Giant Slayer or maybe regen or something like that. I think just high speed and accuracy and you're fine. It just doesn't hit very hard, I don't think. So yeah, the Relentless set was good though. I think that's quite nice, especially in Hydra, to get out more poisons, to spread stuff around, keep the hex up. But yeah, kind of not super crazy. And then for the masteries, kind of straightforward. Hello. I think for the mastery, straightforward in that you definitely want Giant Slayer. And oh my, hello. Oh, jeez. I'm going back. I'm back on Christmas holidays. I'm out of here. Master Hexer, I think, make the poison last longer and a better chance to place poison with Sniper. I think those are the main things. But let's throw in a quick dungeon run. And then if you have any different ideas about how you would build him, let me know. Basically what I did with this team, I just took a team I've run before. I normally use Dark Hail because you mentioned Dark Hail earlier. I thought this would be a good one to show. I just took Dark Hail out who extends all debuffs and therefore makes the poison explosion strong enough to work. And Dark Hail also brings a triple hit A1, so he takes down the Fire Knight shield. What we're going to see in this is that the kitty cat here can basically do the same thing because of that. Oh, let's put it to 2 times speed, otherwise it'd be real slow.
You're gonna move me as well out of the way, just in case.
Oh, yeah.
So
I forgot. I left you there.
Sorry,
to
Eleanor.
think about your tickle crimes in the middle of the screen. You're in the bowl corner.
I'm actually intrigued to see how this goes now.
Yeah.
So, ooh, okay.
But yeah, it's pretty straightforward on the waves. Like, we get the poisons from Elenarl, we get the poisons from 4 from Tomb Lord. We have the Hex out, so who knows what this cat's exactly doing, but he's duplicating a chunk of damage, and we absolutely just one-shot the waves, no problem. We get to Fire Knight, and much like Dark Hail does, he has a triple hit A1 here. He's actually going to get an extra turn because he's in Relentless, so he's going to take it down. And yeah, that's basically... Oh, he's gone again. He's gone again.
Wow.
But that's basically all she wrote, really.
Yeah, I think Relentless is actually a very good option on this one. Like, of course, guys, if you do happen to pull this champion, you're lucky enough to get one, and you don't have Relentless because they're so hard to get in this game, it's like, which other ones would you recommend in particular? Would you go for like a... I don't know...
For this guy, I'd probably just put him in like lifesteal or regen, just something to keep him alive.
Sustainability,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah, like for Hydra, because I think we'll see him in Hydra. I think he's really good for Hydra, and I don't think he really needs to do damage, but he's quite squishy, so I do think it's kind of worthwhile to just, build him with a survivable set. He can maybe solo some bosses as well, like you get him to Dragon, and he's probably going to solo the Dragon really fast because he's got the triple hit, he puts out enough poison, so... Yeah, probably something like that. But
no, it's really cool, man, to see him in a team like this, because I actually use this exact same team now that I think about it, but I just got Dark Hail in the mix.
Yeah, now Dark Hail is better because he blows up
I was
poisons
just looking at
with
the time. I was looking at the time as well. It's like, oh, and obviously he's taking a lot of extra turns. I think the animations are a little bit slow for this dude in terms of like the A1 running up and stuff.
Yeah,
but.
So,
yeah, very, very good, strong option out there, though.
Yeah, like if you don't have a Dark Hail, but you got the other champs, this is an option to slot in. If you want to build your Dark Hail differently, you can put this guy in. Again, Dark Hail's better, like I said, because he blows up the poisons and the burns from Elenarl and the A1, speeds it up a lot. But, I mean, he's a viable option, and I think for people progressing through Fire Knight, pretty good. I guess one thing before we jump into Hydra, I did throw in a kind of mediocre team of like fusions and stuff, which was like this, and I did a few turns. So what we've got here, this is just a general team for clearing through Doom Tower, and the idea is that basically our kitty cat Akatum here can be our main damage, right? So what we've got Pythion, the fusion, just keeping us alive.
What do you think about that dude anyway? You enjoying him?
Yeah, I think he's pretty good. I mean, he's pretty basic. He just makes your team tanky. He doesn't do much, but he is really good.
He's really cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I put in Margain for the AoE True Fear and turn meter control. I brought in Lydia for damage. So yeah, go on.
I was just trying to pay close attention to the poison ticks here in this team. So wait, there we go. So you see that 10,000. So I feel like it is just the one tick potentially. Because that's what I was kind of seeing as well beforehand, but. I don't know.
Yeah, there's something mad going on. It's
really hard to judge because when you get the Hex, right, for anyone that's not aware, you do get like the bonus damage, right? Especially from like AoEs and single target attacks. So we're not classing that, but it's really hard to judge the extra tick because we've got so many poisons on these champions. So
yeah.
But he is actually fulfilling a really good role, and I think the speed aura was a great addition to this champ. Makes it way more versatile, right, for loads of these teams.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like Margain's aura is better, but I didn't want to use her, so I wanted to use his. So, like this team is not perfect. We don't have enough crowd control for Doom Tower Hard with this type of team, but I wanted to just put in fairly obtainable champions. Like we've got Lydia. It takes a long time, but you can get her. Margain was a previous fusion. He's going to be the upcoming fusion, and then I put in Eurogrim for some more poisons, and also the heal for a bit more damage reduction with Pythion's passive. And I found that this team is not fully perfect because the True Fear from Margain's not quite enough to crowd control them. But you can do fun things, like if he debuff spreads, you know, the block active skills that Lydia puts out.
I honestly think this is a really cool team because we've got the recent fusion guys with Pythion. We're taking on a pretty high floor of the Doom Tower. Lydia the Death Siren, free champion from Faction Wars. Eurogrim, epic champion, and Morrigan, a past fusion as well. Who actually looks really cool in game. I've never seen her animations properly.
Oh yeah, she looks awesome. You could switch in something like Ugo, for example, with an epic, or you could put in someone with decreased attack like a Stag Knight or Duck the Pierce instead of Lydia. And that would make it a more sort of even more budget team. But yeah, I thought this was cool. Again, the idea is that we don't have that much damage, but we just have the Hex from Akatum. He's going to put up some poisons himself. And then because the Hex is going to duplicate, in some weird way, the poisons that they're both putting out, these two guys, it actually ends up killing the waves reasonably quickly. Like, it's not a mega speed run like a Seer team, but it's not bad. It's definitely not bad.
Like 3 minutes, that's actually not too bad. When I was doing Coroner Manaya, that thing was taking me 10 minutes. So.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the only downside is I did try to do a team for Doom Tower with him and a poison explosion, and it's quite awkward because you need a reset every wave. So it becomes just hard to fit in enough champions and stuff like that. Whereas he works in dungeons because you just need the one reset and then you can A1 the boss and it's all good. But for Doom Tower, it's a bit tricky. Maybe someone will come up with a team, but I found it a bit tricky. Anyway, look, we're going to beat this one. We'll just see the damage at the end.
I'm actually intrigued to see if he out-damage Uragrim here.
Oh, I think 100% he will.
Yeah.
He's got to. Surely. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Whoa.
Not even close, mate.
I didn't expect it to be that far apart.
There you go.
That's pretty insane. Because obviously it's got the free time hitter, right?
Yeah,
Procking all of those procs and stuff is actually quite an amazing Void champion, right?
All right, we're back. We had to take a small break there, but actually MTG Jedi already jumped on. He has done a team for Clan Boss already with Akatum. I think it's pretty impressive, like 53.57. I mean, you compare it to like a Draco Morph or, you know, that Ninja, like the top Clan Boss dudes. Obviously, they one key it. This isn't a one key in Ultra Nightmare, but it still kind of shows that Akatum, even though he's not bringing or she's not bringing decreased defense weaken, is still putting out pretty good damage with this sort of team. What do you think, YSD, as a Clan Boss mastermind? Any ideas, any combos you're thinking of?
I think the best pairing for this champion is going to be Mishinaki. Honestly, I think the value of the passive of a Mishinaki being able to proc out the counter attacks in some of those speed tunes where you don't keep the hex up. Let's just talk hypothetically in affinity teams, and you get like the weak hits from a Mishinaki. A champion like this is going to be able to extend the value of it, also bring the poisons, and also bring like so much other things in terms of damage, right? So I feel like a champion like this is going to be very, very strong in those teams. I might try it out over the next week or so, 100%. But I feel like you'll see I was thinking like maybe a full Hex team, like really trying to ramp it up with like 3 DPS, bringing like the drop defense from a Mishinaki, a Kemptum, and then like a Fear the Tomb Angel, and see if we can like deal some crazy damage over 50-10s. Can you imagine? All of those ticks that she extends and stuff.
Yeah.
So, lots of cool ideas.
Cool. All right. Nice. I like it. Yeah, I think he seems like even just at a standard, that A1 is pretty good. Triple hitter. You know, puts out poisons, Giant Slayer. Not a bad champion, for sure, for Clan Boss.
Now, I think even if you're just looking for a poison champion, guys, like to be able to have a Void affinity one, not worrying about the affinities, and the Giant Slayer procs to pair with like a Raz and Scarhide, let's just say, you'll still do a good amount of damage, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. That was my Python testing. We're good. Here we go. This is the one I want. So we're not going to make you watch the whole thing. I threw together this team. So we've got like a pretty standard thing. I've got a taunt set, Mother Cybele, Speed Aura, AoE A1 for taunting. We've got decreased defense, weaken, and burn from Sissia, and burn explosion. Very powerful DPS champ. Sigmund for the provoke and decrease attack and shielding us. Akatum for that hex and the poisons, and we'll see what Akatum does against Hydra. Deliana for some healing, block debuffs, and Rector Drath for revive.
I must say that I actually didn't play with him on purpose just because of this video. I wanted to see like get the first reveal here with the Hydra.
All right. So let's dive in. So let's just do our things here. I guess we go. No, we don't need to provoke with her turn 1. I think I've speed tuned it so Sigmund is fast enough.
This rotation is so annoying.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
it's one of
Head
the
of
worst,
Decay and Torment. It's like, what are you doing here, man?
Yeah, there we go. We get the provoke. Let's see. Can we get burn on everyone, or do we have weak hits? Oh, look at that. Burn on everybody.
Nice.
And now we get the decreased defense weaken. So we're just on hard difficulty just to sort of show it off. Let's put the block debuffs out as well, or block buffs, I mean. Yeah, this team doesn't have a Mischief tank, but we can really wreck Head of Mischief in theory with Akatum. I did do a test run with this, but I kind of did it on full auto. I was really short for time the last couple of days. So Yeah, but because we've Hex on Mischief, it means you can always just target Mischief, which is just fantastic. It takes a lot of stress off. You can definitely see Akutami. He does get beat around quite a bit. He's just debuff spread some stuff there as well, apparently. Yeah. So yeah, this is where I think building him to be tanky is probably going to be fairly helpful. But yeah, so it is what it is. We're going to heal up nicely with the leech as well. Yeah, I think
even if you do bring him tanky, he's still going to deal a lot of damage, guys, in Hydra Boss. Like, think about all of those AoE attacks, those Giant Slayer procs, the extensions, the Hex. I think he'll still do a phenomenal job.
No provoke.
Without the damage stats.
Hate to see it. Let's see how he does with some poisons. I'm curious if we'll see any damage ticks from the poison. So we actually got 3 when he takes a turn. Will it do anything to heads without poison? I actually don't know. I'm also going to proc this guy's thing where he's got decreased defense and block debuffs. Or block, buffs.
Let's see what happens here then.
Yeah. So there were some ticks there.
Was it 1 tick or was it multiple ticks?
I'm really not sure.
Man, what is wrong with us today?
I know. Oh man, I know. There was multiple ticks, but I don't know what they all were. But yeah, there tends to be a lot of that with this champ. He goes in. One nice thing, he does get all 3 hits off before he gets feared, which is cool.
I love that.
Missed his turn. You hate to see that, but yeah. Boom. Oh, can we get the thing with her? We do. The True Fear rolls in our favor. Let's go. We got the provoke, the decrease attack. All right, she's gonna die. That's all good.
It's all right. You got the Rector there.
Yeah. There we go. So let's heal everybody first. Better safe than sorry. But yeah, so I think Akutum, I feel like, most of the damage, let's look at his actual hits here. So he comes in with the hits. Like, he's hitting for about 10k. It's not that much, like 30k total. Let's go in with the Hex. Why not?
I forgot the exact number. So with the AoE of the Hex, I believe it's 2% spreaded damage, right?
Yeah.
And then it's 10% for the single targets.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think of... But I think when you think about all of the multi-hits, right? So like, you're proccing a lot of that over the turn of the whole run. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong over the stats and stuff, but I believe that was the numbers.
No, yeah, it is that. I think it's 10% single target, and like you said, it's the 2% AoE. So it does add up, and like because you can target Mischief, it can be awkward. Like if Mischief is going to eat you and he gets that shield, that can be really bad. But it does mean like you can come in, you can kill Mischief really quickly, which is really great because when Mischief dies, he depletes the turn meter. Oh, it doesn't say here. He depletes the turn meter though of all of the other heads, so it can really help you get ahead of the Hydra. It's really impactful to kill him, and you can see how long these Hex debuffs are going to last. So
yeah, so literally, so if you just keep that provoke on the whole time of Headed Decay, you're pretty much gonna have no problem keeping that Hex up the whole time, man. That's pretty insane, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. It's really, it does get a little bit difficult to fit him into the team in that sense. Is that because there's so many things you need to bring. Thought this is fun too. You can obviously poison these heads, which is kind of nice, and debuff spreading is also nice, but. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, actually. I do like him for this.
The debuff spread as well, I think that's really cool. Like, guys, if you think about decreased speed, let's just say you don't have an AoE decreased speed, right? Like, a Snick Track would be my favorite, or other champions like that. And you're using somebody like a Tuhana Rock, right? If you paired him with a Kemptum, you actually can go through and have that potential to spread that decreased speed on all of the heads. And I think that's a really cool thing, if you get the RNG in your favor.
Yeah, one nice thing as well, decapitated heads take... but. He was feared. It didn't work. No. Cystia, don't let me down. There we go. Decapitated heads take bonus damage. So when you hit a decapitated head, it actually spreads quite a bit of damage around to the enemies. So which is quite nice. So that Hex works really well when you've got a big single target nuker, like something like a Turbo.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here in your own video.
Yes.
Where would you personally rate a Kemptum in terms of Hex champions? Is this somebody that you would have on the top of your list in comparison to like the other Hex champions in the game?
Top list.
Considering he's an epic as well, right? Like he's not a legendary.
Yeah. It's tricky, because I mean the legend like Mithrala and Michinaki are obviously better. I think he's pretty solid. Like I quite like this champ, and I think.
Well, I guess a better question would be: would you think he's in the conversation of being amongst those great ones, like, or do you think he's like a tier below?
I'd want to, before I said 100% for sure, I'd want to actually figure out how his passive properly works. But no, I do think he's actually really good. Yeah, and he's really fun.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty nice. What I want to show you is, well, let me pause this run for a second. Let me show you the results from a test run I did, okay, which was on full auto, so not, min-maxing his debuff spread with his A1 or his poison placements. But this was the full run I did on... with the test, and that was how they performed. So we did 41 million on hard with this team. But I was really impressed by his damage. Akitsum here,
Wow,
12.5 million.
On par with Sissia.
Yeah,
wow.
he did the same as Assistia, which is really impressive. So I thought that's really good because she is so strong with exploding the HP burn. She does a ton of damage. So I thought that was pretty damn good. Now, she's obviously upping the damage of everyone else because decreased defense, weaken, the HP burn. I think that's kind of comparable to the Hex. Like the HP burn helps you ignore the poison cloud. The Hex helps you target Head of Mischief. But yeah, I think Akita, like, it's pretty impressive that what this champ can do as an epic, bringing in the Hex. And like I said, that's not even min-maxing the debuff spread. Like when you play it here on manual, you put the poisons on heads, which are vulnerable to poisons. You debuff spread onto heads that need debuff spreads. That sort of stuff is kind of cool and gets you some sort of extra damage out for free. So yeah, I think he's really good. And I just think he's a fun champ too. He's something different.
Yeah, I love it. Do you know when they throw in these epic champions that doesn't take the legendary skill terms?
Yeah.
I love those kind of champs, right? But he doesn't seem like a waste of space to me because obviously Ray likes to pump out 10, 15 champions a patch. So I'm happy that actually reduced it by a lot this time. It was only 4 extra ones on the fusion.
Agreed.
So definitely not a waste of space champion in my opinion. And if I was to pull him, I would definitely get some use out of him. I'll probably throw him into like that Poison Explosion team. But most excited, honestly, would be the Hydra boss for me. I think you'll have a lot of value for my Missionaki, honestly.
Yeah. I think he's a really solid champ for Hydra. You just need to make sure you got the right supports in.
I love the Hex champions in this game. I find it so different and quirky and something new to do in our spare time, right? So
definitely.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of it.
He's one of the most consistent ones. Well, look, there we go, guys. Let's see how we did in this run, actually, with some decapitated heads. 8.8, we ended early.
Roll,
so again, like, he's pretty similar, slightly behind Sissia this time, but pretty close once again. So yeah, and I still think he's going to do almost all that damage, even if you build him to be lifesteal and tanky and you don't build attack or crit rate or crit damage. He's still going to do most of that with also the utility. So yeah, I think he's great. There we go. YST, thank you for oh, apparently I'm missing artifacts on her. Whoops.
Poor Deliana.
Hey, nice. Pro streamer. Thank you for joining me though. Make sure, guys, to jump over to YST's channel. We're going to do a collab over there. Subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, anything you want to say before we end it?
It's just cool to start off a fresh year again. And do you know what? I want to look back at this video in December, right?
Oh.
How many collabs do you think we're going to do in 2023? Realistically. Probably
like 15. That's my guess.
15. Okay, so I'm going to throw out... wait, so 12... I'm gonna go 24.
Oh wow, 2 per month. Okay.
I'll throw it in there because you never know how these test servers coming out and stuff. So I'm gonna throw 24, and we'll see who was right at the end. And then whoever loses has to buy them a. I'm setting a little wager here in your own video.
I like it. No, go for it.
I want a. I don't even know what I want, man. I guess I get to summon all of your sacred shards, and you get to summon mine. Something fun like that, right?
Oh, yeah, I like it. You know what's gonna happen? We're gonna get to December. You're gonna look at it, and then it's gonna be December 1st. Yo, Nub, you want a collab? December 2nd. Hey, Nub, yeah, how about another collab right there, buddy? That's what's gonna happen.
If it starts getting late, I'm gonna start ramping those up. I'm like, nah, hell no.
How about we do 3 collabs today? You know, I'm feeling productive. All right, dudes. Thanks for watching. YST.
See you later,
thanks
guys.
for joining.
Peace.
See you. Bye bye.